Hello, everybody. I am sitting next to Tyler Dunne of the Journal Sentinel. This is another sports extra, by the way. It's starting to get a little bit cold out here, but you were hot this week, breaking that Randall Cobb story for everybody at home. You were the first one to have it nationally on how long he was out. I mean, that's a pretty big story to break.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. And yeah, this might be the biggest injury to date for the Packers. I mean, they've had Brian Bulaga go down, Dwan Harris, Clay Matthews in the short term, but Randall Cobb being out for at least 8 weeks is huge. I mean, it's a domino effect for this offense. You're going to see more Jermichael Finley in the slot, more Eddie Lacy in that ground game, and then they promoted Miles White from within. So a lot of moving parts here on offense.
But this Randall Cobb is probably one of the biggest. I mean, their leading receiver, their biggest threat on offense. This really hurts them.
Yeah, I mean, I remember sitting down with Aaron Rodgers before the season, and he said that Randall Cobb can be a 100-catch guy. I mean, and that's some pretty high praise for Cobb. And we out there on this field right here against the Detroit Lions, that 67-yard run just busted the game open. And he's creative. He gives that offense versatility, creativity, unpredictability all the time. You take him out, everybody shuffles around, things are going to change.
I know you can't predict the future, but when he comes back, will he be back 100%, or will he just never be right until next year?
Well, you know, the thing with Randall Cobb is the fibula was fractured, but it could have been a lot worse. The source that I talked to said that fibula almost broke all the way through, which really would have been tough to recover from. But yeah, they're hoping to get him back for a potential playoff run. So it's going to be a while, though. I mean, they're going to have to adjust.
Let's flip the sides of the ball. I mean, the linebackers, everybody's going down on defense. Let's talk about the injuries. Start off with the linebackers.
But yeah, they have 2 healthy outside linebackers right now. Andy Malumba out of Eastern Michigan, an undrafted guy, and Nate Palmer, a late-round pick out of Illinois State. That's it right now as your 2 pass rushers for Green Bay. Mike Neal has a bruised shoulder, so not super serious. They should get him back. Nick Perry has that foot injury, going to be multiple weeks for him. So in the short term, they say it all the time around here. It's going to be those undrafted players, those low-round picks being vaulted into bigger opportunities. And, you know, long term, the health of the team, that's a good thing. You know, I think maybe teams like the Giants and the Steelers that were contenders, Super Bowl winners, maybe they didn't have that long-term vision, and that's why they're struggling so much right now. But in the short term, you have this window of opportunity with an Aaron Rodgers. You're going to need these guys to learn quickly. Yeah,
you talk about if you're an undrafted free agent, this is the place to be right here in Green Bay. Right. Can Stoneburner and Miles White, how much can they help this? Are they going to be on the field this week?
You know, it's interesting. I just asked Aaron Rodgers, you know, what are the benefits of promoting from within with a Miles White? Because I think a lot of fans watching this are like, oh, why don't you trade for Hakeem Nicks or pick up a Deion Branch or a Steve Breston, you know, those some veterans. But, you know, they're pretty confident in these guys that have been around. Aaron Rodgers is throwing to Miles White a lot, Stoneburner a lot behind the scenes, so there's a familiarity there. He actually talked about Sam Congato when he got that opportunity back in 2005 and had a long run here against Detroit. It was kind of a late season sensation. He likes seeing those guys from within get those opportunities, and it has worked in the past. It's going to have to work now for Green Bay.
How about this? There was a Derek Sherrod sighting on the practice field. You got to be excited for this guy.
Boy, it's been since that Kansas City game in 2011 since he last put pads on. He's going to have that opportunity tomorrow at Thursday's practice to do that. Yeah, I mean, they just haven't seen Derek Sherrod in general at all. I mean, even if he is healthy and out there, what do the Packers have? We really don't know. So right now, David Bakhtiari is playing really well, considering a 4th-round pick coming in, starting at left tackle, exceeded expectations. Don Barclay, he had a rough start there against Baltimore.
I think he's still been rough. I still think it's been a little rough road for him.
It has been. I mean, they have Marshall Newhouse on deck, so I don't know if Derek Sherrod can leapfrog any of those guys. I mean, He's got to get in pads. They have to see him at practice. It's been so long for this guy.
What do you think? What do you see out of this Cleveland game? Packers-Cleveland Browns right here. Both of them got 3 wins on the season.
I know the Browns, they had a nice little run there. That was with Brian Hoyer, quarterback. With Brandon Weeden, I mean, this is a quarterback on another offensive coordinator that's really struggling. I mean, there's a progression there, getting used to all the moving parts around him and that offense. So for the Packers, probably a good week to play the Browns, a team that's hurting for talent.
All right, we're going to finish up with Eddie Lacy. Boy, this kid really showed. I mean, he got a $120 against the Ravens defense. How good is this kid?
Yeah, I guess that was the kind of game that's built for Eddie Lacy. I know the Ravens have a totally different defense, but on the road, hostile environment, the Packers needed to run the ball. Another 23-carry game for Eddie Lacy. And, yeah, I mean, he gives them that real legitimate balance. When you watch that touchdown to Jordy Nelson, I mean, Baltimore really did bite on the play fake to Eddie Lacy. So if you're looking for a silver lining, some bright spot with Randall Cobb going down, maybe it's the the fact that Eddie Lacy is the real deal, and they can run the ball.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried that he's going to get too many carries. Remember, he's still a rookie, still learning this system.
Very true.
I mean, James Starks, I mean, how much longer do we have to wait for him?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like his rehab is going well, and he might be out here sooner rather than later. I don't think there's any specific timetable for James Starks right now, but remember last week Mike McCarthy kind of indicated that this injury wasn't as bad as some of Starks' past injuries, so he's somebody that could take some heat off Eddie Lacy, and they still have Jonathan Franklin, too, who really hasn't gotten on the field much, but he's on the roster.
Yeah, he's got to hold on to the football. He's Tyler Dunne. I'm Rod Burks here at Lambeau Field. Getting a little chilly. I got a feeling next week it might be snow, maybe? Maybe not. We're done.